Hey, warriors, you were kind. You were the person who showed up when others didn't. You were patient when you had every right to walk away. You gave people second chances, sometimes third and fourth chances, chances they never even asked for, chances they definitely didn't deserve. And what did you get in return? You got disrespected. You got ignored. You got walked over like a doormat somebody forgot to flip. You got taken for granted so many times that it started to feel normal. And maybe, just maybe, you started to wonder if something was wrong with you. Let me stop you right there. Nothing is wrong with you. But something is wrong with the way you've been using kindness. Here's the truth that most people spend their whole lives refusing to admit. Kindness without limits, without boundaries, without protection, becomes a liability. Not because kindness itself is weak. Kindness is one of the most powerful forces a human being can carry. But the moment people mistake your kindness for weakness, that's the moment you start losing. In relationships, in life. Niccolò Machiavelli, the Italian philosopher, political strategist, and one of the most misunderstood thinkers in history, understood something about human nature that most modern people flat out refuse to accept. People do not always respond to goodness with goodness. They respond to signals. And when your signal is, "I will always be kind no matter how you treat me," the signal they receive is, "This person has no limits." And people without limits get exploited. Every single time. I'm not saying become cold. I'm not saying become cruel. I'm not telling you to stop caring about people or to turn into some kind of emotionless robot who moves through life with zero warmth. What I am saying is this. If your kindness is costing you your respect, your peace, your authority, your mental health, or your sense of self, then it's not kindness anymore. It's self-destruction with a smile on its face. So what do you replace it with? Not anger. Anger makes you reactive. Reactive people are easy to manipulate. Not revenge. Revenge keeps you tied to the people who hurt you. You replace unprotected kindness with something far more powerful, something Machiavelli would recognize, something that commands respect without begging for it. And in this video, I'm going to break it down, step by step, so that by the time you reach the end, you will never give your kindness away carelessly again. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My kindness has limits. Let's get into it. Number 1, stop assuming everyone thinks like you. You are a kind person, and because you are a kind person, you look at other people and assume, at some deep subconscious level, that they operate the same way you do. You think, if I treat this person well, they'll treat me well back. You think, if I give them loyalty, they'll give me loyalty. You think, if I'm fair to them, they'll be fair to me. And you're not wrong for thinking that. That's called having integrity. That's called living by a code. That's actually beautiful. But here's where it becomes dangerous. You start projecting those values onto people who don't have them. You give someone the benefit of the doubt because you would never intentionally hurt someone. You make excuses for their behavior because you know what it feels like to have a bad day, to mess up, to need grace. But not everyone is operating from your framework. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that a leader, or anyone who wants to maintain power and respect, must understand human nature as it actually is, not as we wish it to be. He didn't say people are all bad, but he said that many people, when given the opportunity to gain an advantage, will take it, even over someone who has been nothing but good to them. This is not cynicism. This is clarity. Think about the people in your life who have disappointed you, not the ones who made honest mistakes. Everyone does that. I'm talking about the ones who repeatedly let you down, who took more than they gave, who smiled to your face and talked behind your back, who leaned on your support but were never there when you needed theirs. Were they cartoon villains? Probably not. Were they consciously evil? Maybe not. But they were operating from a completely different internal rulebook than you were. And because you kept assuming their rulebook looked like yours, kept giving them the same chances you'd want, they kept taking advantage of it. The first shift is this: see people as they are, not as you are, not as you hope they'll be, not as they were on their best day 3 years ago. Watch the patterns. Watch the behavior over time. Watch what people do when it costs them something to do right by you. That's who they really are. And once you see that clearly, once you stop overlaying your values onto people who don't share them, you stop being surprised, you stop being hurt, you start making smarter decisions about who gets your energy. Clarity is not cruelty. Clarity is protection. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I see people clearly. Number 2, understand that tolerance teaches disrespect. This one is going to hit some of you hard, but I need you to hear it. Every single time you let something slide, every time someone crosses a line and you say nothing, do nothing, change nothing, you're sending them a message. And the message is, this is acceptable. Let's be honest. Most of us don't set clear limits because we don't want to seem difficult. We don't want to cause conflict. We tell ourselves we're being the bigger person. We tell ourselves we're practicing patience. We tell ourselves that if we just stay calm and keep showing up with love, eventually they'll figure it out and do better. But here's the brutal reality. Most people don't guess your limits. They learn them. They learn them by testing them. And if every test comes back with no consequence, if they push and you don't push back, if they take and you keep giving, they don't feel guilty. They feel comfortable. Comfortable taking from you. Comfortable disrespecting you. Comfortable treating you like an option when you've been treating them like a priority. Machiavelli was very clear on this. A ruler who is seen as someone who can be pushed around will eventually be pushed out. Not because people are evil, but because human beings instinctively calibrate their behavior to what the environment allows. You trained them to disrespect you, not because you're weak, but because you never showed them where the line was. Think about a time in your life when someone treated you poorly and you let it go. What happened? Did they change? Or did they do it again, maybe even bigger the next time, because they learned there were no consequences? I know you know the answer. This doesn't mean you become aggressive. It doesn't mean you blow up every time someone does something you don't like. It means you start responding to disrespect instead of absorbing it. The moment you stop tolerating what's unacceptable is the moment people stop doing unacceptable things around you. Your silence hasn't been keeping the peace. It's been costing you respect, one silent moment at a time. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I enforce my standards. Number 3, silence isn't always strength. You've probably been told at some point in your life that the mature thing to do is stay quiet, rise above it, be the bigger person. Don't give them the reaction they're looking for, and there's some truth to that. Reacting emotionally to every little thing does make you look unstable. Letting petty people pull you into petty situations does drain your energy. But here's what nobody tells you. Staying silent out of avoidance is not strength. It's fear dressed up in wisdom's clothing. There's a difference between choosing silence from a place of power, knowing something doesn't deserve your response, and choosing silence because you're afraid of conflict, afraid of being disliked, afraid of making things uncomfortable. The first kind of silence is commanding. The second kind of silence is enabling. When you go quiet because you genuinely don't care, because the situation is beneath you, because your energy is better spent elsewhere, that silence speaks. People feel it. It has weight. But when you go quiet because you're hoping the problem goes away on its own, that silence doesn't speak. That silence screams, "Please, don't push me any further." And some people hear that and push harder. Machiavelli understood that unchecked behavior grows. The longer a problem is ignored, the more embedded it becomes, the harder it is to address later. He wrote that the wise ruler handles conflicts early while they're still manageable, because what starts small, if tolerated, becomes something that can't be contained. What you don't confront, you invite more of. That person who keeps making small digs at your character in group settings. If you never address it, it escalates. That co-worker who keeps taking credit for your work. If you never push back, it becomes a pattern. That friend who only calls when they need something? If you keep answering with the same warmth, they'll keep calling the same way. This doesn't mean you start picking fights. It means you start speaking up, calmly, clearly, without apology, when something is genuinely wrong. Real maturity isn't the ability to suffer in silence. Real maturity is the ability to address problems without losing your composure. Say what needs to be said. Say it once. Say it clearly. And then let the other person decide how they want to respond. That's strength. That's not anger. That's just the refusal to participate in your own disrespect. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I speak my truth. Number 4, replace kindness with strategic detachment. Now we get to the core shift, the one Machiavelli would probably call the most important. I want you to replace unprotected kindness with strategic detachment. Let me be very clear about what that means, because people hear detachment and immediately think it means becoming cold, emotionally unavailable, shutting people out, becoming one of those people who never shows vulnerability, never connects, never lets anyone in. That's not what I'm talking about. Strategic detachment means you stop investing emotionally in people and situations that consistently drain you and give nothing back. It means you manage your availability, you manage your energy. You stop making yourself perpetually accessible to people who don't value the access. Here's what it looks like in practice. Less availability. You stop always being there. You stop answering every text within seconds. You stop rearranging your schedule for people who wouldn't rearrange theirs for you. Not because you're playing games, but because your time and attention are genuinely valuable, and you start treating them that way. Less explanation. You stop over-justifying yourself. You stop explaining why you can't make it, why you said no, why you need space. No is a complete sentence. You don't owe a paragraph to someone who hasn't earned your emotional labor. Less emotional investment. This one's the hardest. It means you stop caring so deeply about how certain people perceive you, especially people who have repeatedly shown they don't have your best interests at heart. You stop losing sleep over whether they're upset with you. You stop bending yourself out of shape to manage their emotions. You don't chase respect. You withdraw access. And here's something profound that Machiavelli knew about human psychology. People want what they can't easily have, not out of pettiness, but because perceived value is tied to scarcity. When you were available all the time, when you were always there, always ready, always accommodating, you signaled low value. Not because you were low value, but because you were behaving like someone with no other options. When you become less available, something shifts. People who were taking you for granted start to notice. They start to reach out differently. They start to treat what they do get from you with more care. Strategic detachment is not punishment. It's recalibration. You are redirecting your energy toward people and things that deserve it, and withdrawing it from those who don't. Number 5, control your reactions, not your image. Here's a mistake that a lot of good people make when they finally decide they've had enough. They blow up. All that patience, all that silence, all that tolerance, it builds up. And one day, the wrong person does the wrong thing at the wrong moment, and everything comes out. Loud, emotional, unfiltered. And what happens? The person who was wrong walks away feeling vindicated. See, they're crazy. See, they're the problem. And you, the person who was right, look unstable, reactive, out of control. Anger feels powerful in the moment, but it actually reduces your power, because the moment you lose control of your emotions in front of someone, you've handed them leverage. You've shown them exactly how to get to you. This is one of the most important lessons Machiavelli ever encoded in his writing. Not in those exact words, but the principle is everywhere in his work. The truly powerful person is not the one who reacts the strongest. It's the one who reacts the least. Think about the most powerful person you know, not the loudest, not the most aggressive, but the one who genuinely commands respect. I'll bet they're calm. I'll bet that when things go sideways, they don't panic. They assess. They respond deliberately. They don't get pulled into emotional spirals. That calmness is not indifference. It's control, and control is power. When you react emotionally, you're telling people, "You got to me. You matter enough to move me off my center." When you stay calm, you're telling them something completely different. "What you did doesn't shake me. I see it. I'm noting it, but it doesn't own me." The same principle applies to over-explaining and defending yourself. When someone accuses you of something unfair and you launch into a long defense, breaking down every detail, explaining your intentions, desperate for them to understand, what are you actually signaling? That their opinion of you has power over your peace. Stop defending yourself to people who've already made up their minds. Stop over-explaining to people who are looking for a reaction, not a reason. Respond when it's necessary and useful. Don't respond when it's emotional and desperate. Calm is the new power. Master it. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. Calm is my power. Number 6. Use silence as a signal, not an escape. We talked earlier about how silence isn't always strength, but now I want to flip it, because silence, used correctly, is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. The key is why you're being silent and what that silence communicates. Silence as an escape looks like this. Someone hurts you, disrespects you, crosses a clear line, and you say nothing, do nothing, change nothing. You're silent because you're afraid, because you don't know how to address it, because you're hoping it just resolves itself. This kind of silence communicates weakness, not strength. Strategic silence looks completely different. Strategic silence is when you consciously remove your presence, your energy, your attention from someone who has shown they don't deserve it. You don't announce it. You don't make a speech. You don't send a long message explaining everything they did wrong and how it made you feel. You simply withdraw. Your responses get shorter. Your availability decreases. Your emotional warmth, that warmth they probably took for granted, quietly disappears. And people feel that, even if they don't immediately understand it. There's a shift in the dynamic that registers on some level. Strategic silence says, "I see exactly what you did, and because I see it, you no longer have full access to me." It's not petty, it's not passive-aggressive. It's a recalibration of your energy based on information you now have about how this person treats you. Machiavelli understood that sometimes the most effective response to a threat or a betrayal is not confrontation. It's repositioning. You don't always need to address every wrong with words. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is quietly remove yourself from the equation and let the person sit with the consequences of their own behavior. The person who used to have your full energy, your quick replies, your open heart, and suddenly has none of that, they notice, they wonder. They either recalibrate their behavior or they confirm exactly who they are by what they do next. Either way, you've gathered information, and you've maintained your dignity. Use silence as a signal. Make it intentional, make it purposeful, and never let it be confused with fear. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks loudly. Number 7. Shift the power dynamic with one decisive action. Here's something I want you to understand about respect. You don't earn it through 100 small, quiet moments of holding your tongue. You earn it through one clear, decisive moment where you show people exactly where your line is. You don't need to be constantly confrontational. You don't need to turn every interaction into a battle. You don't need to be the person who always has something to prove, but at some point, at the right moment, you need to draw a line and hold it, clearly, firmly, without apology. That one moment can completely reset the entire dynamic. Think about what that moment looks like. Someone says something disrespectful to you in front of others, and instead of laughing it off or changing the subject, you look them in the eye and say calmly, directly, "Don't do that." No emotion, no drama, just a calm, firm statement that says, "I see you, and this is not okay." Or someone repeatedly fails to show up for you, and instead of giving them another chance with the same open arms, you simply stop extending the invitation. You pull back your access without a dramatic announcement. You just stop. Or someone attempts to manipulate you, and instead of playing along, you name it. Quietly, clearly. I see what's happening here, and I'm not going to engage with it. These moments don't need to be explosive. In fact, the calmer they are, the more powerful they become. Because calmness in the face of conflict signals control, and control signals power. Machiavelli wrote that decisive action, taken at the right moment, is more effective than 100 small measures spread out over time. He understood that there are moments in every power dynamic where a single strong move changes the entire trajectory. You don't need to fight every battle, but you do need to win the moment that matters. After that one decisive moment, when you've held your ground calmly and firmly, you'll notice something. People recalibrate, they stop testing, they start treating you differently because they now know there is a line, and crossing it has consequences. One strong moment is worth 1,000 moments of quiet endurance. Find it, use it, and don't walk it back. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I hold my ground. Number 8. Make your kindness selective, not automatic. We're at the final tip, and this one ties everything together. You have been giving your kindness like it costs you nothing, like it's unlimited, like everyone who crosses your path is automatically entitled to your warmth, your generosity, your time, your emotional energy, your patience, your grace. And that, right there, is the root of everything we've been talking about. Here's the shift you need to make. Stop giving kindness by default. Start giving it by design. Make people earn your energy. Make them earn your time. Make them earn your attention. Not through some elaborate test or some kind of game, but simply by showing through their consistent behavior that they are worth what you give. New rule, and I want you to write this down if you need to. Respect gets access. Disrespect gets distance. That's it. That's the whole framework. When someone treats you with respect, when they show up, when they're honest, when they reciprocate, when they treat your time as valuable and your feelings as real, they get more of you, more of your warmth, more of your generosity, more of your energy, and you give it freely because it's deserved and it's sustainable. When someone disrespects you, when they're careless with you, when they take without giving, when they treat your kindness as a given rather than a gift, they get less, quietly, without drama. You simply redirect that energy somewhere it's actually valued. Your kindness becomes a privilege, not a guarantee. This is exactly what Machiavelli meant when he distinguished between the ruler who is loved out of obligation and the ruler who is loved out of genuine respect. The first can be abandoned at any moment. The second is maintained because it's earned, on both sides. Selective kindness is not cruelty. Selective kindness is intelligence. It means you finally understood something that took a lot of pain to learn. Not everyone deserves the same version of you. The people who treat you right deserve the very best of you. Your fullness, your openness, your warmth. And the people who don't, they deserve exactly the version of you that mirrors how they treat you. Neutral, polite, distant, not cold, not hateful, just unavailable for anything beyond the minimum. You protect your kindness by making it mean something, and when your kindness means something, when people know it's not automatic, it becomes something they actually value. That's when everything changes. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My kindness is earned. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I want to leave you with this. Kindness is not the problem. Let me say that again, because I don't want anything in this video to be misunderstood. Kindness is not the problem. The world actually needs more people with genuine warmth, genuine care, genuine desire to do right by others. If you are that person, hold on to that. It's rare, it's valuable, it's part of what makes you who you are. But unprotected kindness, kindness with no limits, no discernment, no self-respect woven into it, that is the problem. If being kind is costing you your peace, you don't have limits. If being kind is costing you your respect, you've been giving it to the wrong people. If being kind is costing you your sense of self, your confidence, your energy, your mental health, then you haven't been practicing kindness. You've been practicing self-neglect with a generous mask on. It's time to evolve, not into someone cruel, not into someone heartless, not into someone who moves through the world building walls and calling it wisdom. Evolve into someone controlled, someone aware, someone who has done the difficult inner work of understanding both their own worth and the nature of the people around them. Evolve into someone who gives generously but deliberately, who loves deeply but doesn't lose themselves in it, who is warm but has teeth when the moment calls for it. Because here is what I know to be absolutely true. The moment people realize they can no longer take advantage of you, the moment they understand that your kindness comes with standards attached to it, that your presence in their life is something earned rather than assumed, that is the moment everything shifts. That is the moment they start treating you differently. That is the moment the dynamic changes. That is the moment you stop being the person people walk over and start being the person people genuinely respect. And that is the moment, maybe for the first time in a long time, you take your power back. If this video hit home for you, if even one of these points made something click, hit the like button right now. It takes 2 seconds and it helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. And if you know someone in your life who has been too kind for too long, who has been giving everything and getting nothing back, share this video with them, not as a lecture, just as a reminder that they deserve better and they don't have to keep accepting less. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We put out content like this regularly, real talk, practical mindset shifts, no fluff. Hit the bell so you don't miss anything, and before you go, drop your affirmation in the comments. You've been collecting them throughout this video. Let me see them. Let the community see them, because reading those words back to yourself is more powerful than you think. You are not too kind. You are just finally learning how to protect it. Go do that.